Have you ever felt that unmistakable dread on a Sunday night?
Oh, yeah.
That creeping feeling that a fresh work week is just around the corner and you're, about to transform into a caffeinated zombie.
Totally.
Perhaps you've bought all the right things, those expensive boxes, maybe softer leather, shinier chrome, fancier gadgets. But despite all that, something still feels fundamentally, well, not right.
Something's missing.
Welcome to the deep dive. Today we're plunging into a really unconventional, maybe even provocative perspective on life, liberty, and entrepreneurship.
Yeah, this was going to make you think.
We're drawing our insights from MJ DeMarco's book, Unscripted.
A pretty influential book for some folks.
Absolutely. Our mission today is to cut through the noise, uncover some surprising truths about why so many of us feel trapped by traditional paths, and maybe reveal how to engineer what DeMarco calls an unscripted life.
Right. A life that promises things like autonomy, purpose, real financial success. Basically getting away from the feel-good fairy tales and Wall Street fantasies that he says often guide us.
Exactly. So get ready for some serious aha moments, hopefully. Let's start with something a bit uncomfortable. A confession, maybe. The author describes these subtle whispers of discontent that might sound really familiar. Maybe it's the shame pacified by faux fame, where you've got rock star status on Xbox Live but haven't earned a real dime.
Or that sting of insignificance, the feeling that if you vanished, maybe only your roommate would notice because the rent's due.
Ouch. Yeah. Or for many, it's those weekly dates with anguish, Sunday night dreading Monday, or just that quiet contempt for a job you hate, but you stay because, well, the paycheck's a bribe.
And what's really insightful here, at least what DeMarco argues, is that its pervasive feeling isn't some kind of personal failing on your part. According to his work, it's actually a symptom of a larger, kind of invisible operating system that dictates life from cradle to grave.
Yeah.
It's like an unwritten rule book your decisions get weighed against.
Okay, let's unpack this then. DeMarco calls this the scripted operating system.
Right.
He presents it as this autonomous program shadowing your entire life, pushing you toward what he calls an inauthentic life of someone else's design.
Basically, a predictable blueprint of mediocrity. That's his term, where dreams get sidelined for, a television and a regular paycheck.
Yeah, and this script, as he describes it, is consecrated by an obsolete template, decreed by authority, sanctified by education, certified by media, and obfuscated by government.
It's a strong claim. He says it leads to a life of serving to die versus living to serve. A pretty stark contrast.
So how exactly does this scripty get, uploaded into our minds? He says it's disseminated by various seeders.
Seeders, yeah.
The first and maybe the most influential is family. Our first upload often comes from parents who are usually, unknowingly passing on the same script they live by.
Right, like being told, oh, you'll never own a Lamborghini unless you're lucky. Or, in some families, there's that strong push towards certain careers, like STEM, with little room for discussion.
Yeah, exactly. And it doesn't stop there, right?
No, friends and colleagues also act as these naysayers. They might hit you with dire warnings and caveats if you try to step off the path.
Like, you must be like us. That kind of thing.
Exactly. Reinforcing that status quo of unremarkable mediocrity, as he puts it.
Then beyond personal relationships, DeMarco argues that the educational system plays a pretty big role. He claims it conditions us to accept authority, making weekday freedom something you need permission for. He also asserts it suppresses critical thinking by pushing ideological agendas as facts.
Yeah, he cites a statistic, I think, that 72% of American colleges promote state-centric collectivism over individualism. Now, that's his claim. We're just reporting it here.
Right. And he also suggests it normalizes being average, creating over-medicated and over-coddled individuals who feel entitled. It's quite a critique.
It is. Then you have corporations. They act as corporate seeders through, well, relentless advertising, convincing us that happiness and social hierarchy are determined by brand consumption.
Like needing that specific brand in high school to be cool.
Exactly. Or the belief that expensive stuff automatically equals happiness.
Yeah.
He even brings up the tragic Elliot Rodger case, where the guy felt betrayed because his expensive car and clothes didn't bring him the happiness and companionship the soupsters seemed to promise. It's a dark example, but illustrates the point about that illusion.
Wow. Okay. And let's not forget the financial industry.
Oh, definitely not. This multi-trillion-dollar industry, as he calls it, pushes these hope and pray strategies.
Yeah.
Tie your future to uncontrollable markets, jobs, stocks, housing.
Right.
And all the while, DeMarco points out, they get fabulously wealthy managing your money through high fees. It's about fostering this belief your savings are safe, until maybe they're not.
Mm-hmm. And finally, he turns his attention to government.
Yeah,
He portrays government as promoting this message that, you owe them gratitude for their benevolence, even for businesses you built yourself.
right. His view is it suggests their help is essential to your success, reinforcing a narrative of dependence, not self-reliance. Again, that's his perspective from the book.
Okay, so this is where DeMarco's analysis gets really interesting. He introduces these concepts he calls hyperrealities.
Yes, the
He
hyper-realities.
describes 9 primary hyperrealities that prop up the script. He calls them weapons of mass distraction. What's fascinating is how these illusions, often invisible, kind of keep us tied to the scripty.
Absolutely. The first one, and maybe the most insidious, is named days.
Named days.
Yeah, the illusion that Monday is inherently different from Thursday or Friday from Sunday.
Yeah.
What's really insightful is how millions willfully postpone their life until the weekend because of this,
Okay.
trading away their life, essentially, for little pieces of paper called money. We've sort of bought into this calendar-based prison where happiness is always 5 days away.
Wow, yeah. Okay, what's another one?
Consumerism, the myth that consumption can produce success or happiness.
Right, buying things makes you happy.
And the debt it creates acts like bars of incarceration. Think 30-year mortgages, 7-year car loans. DeMarco points out this is why the freeway is jammed with cars at 7 a.m. on a Monday morning. People are literally trapped, needing to earn money to pay for the stuff they bought.
That makes sense. Okay.
He also challenges the illusion of the college degree.
No, this will be controversial for some.
Probably. He questions the idea that intelligence and wealth require a degree, especially given the massive cost and debt. He even cites a statistic, kind of humorously, that 1 of 10 college graduates thought Judge Judy was on the Supreme Court.
Ah, okay.
His argument is that real-world performance, like a trusted surgeon, often matters more than the piece of paper itself.
Okay. Then there's hyperpersonality. What's that?
I think social media. It's the illusion of importance crafted online. People post what they want to be, not necessarily what they are.
Like those perfect vacation photos.
Exactly. Joe's amazing Caribbean trip photos versus his actual credit card statement showing how he paid for it. It leads to insecurity and depression when you compare your real life to these fabricated online lives.
Yeah, I can see that.
Related to that is virtual reality. Things like video games, Minecraft, Clash of Clans. They tap into our desires for worthiness and respect, but without real-world risk.
So like an entertained distraction.
Precisely. It distracts from real life, real action.
And entertainment itself is one.
Yes, an irrational, emotional investment in sports, movies, reality TV. Your identity gets wired into these outcomes. He mentions stuff like kids wanting CSI degrees, thinking it involves gun battles, or people believing heavily edited reality TV is, well, real.
Okay. What about money as real?
He argues that's an illusion, too. Most money isn't tangible. It's just pixelated numbers on a monitor. And he makes a very pointed statement that the U.S. money system is backed by blood meaning the economic output of citizens. It's not gold, it's our work.
Okay. Then freedom as real. The illusion of ownership.
Right. He gives this powerful example. He bought a house, cash, but realized he didn't really own it.
How so?
Property taxes. He calls them a lease payment to the government. If you don't pay, they can take it back, even over tiny amounts, like a $6 tax bill in one Pennsylvania case. It shows where the real control lies.
That's a sobering thought.
And finally, the corporate veil. The idea that corporations are these faceless, sometimes evil things.
Okay.
DeMarco says underneath that veil are often ordinary people investing for retirement, like grandma buying pension shares. But once a company goes public, he argues, the focus often shifts from customers to shareholders, changing the company's priorities.
Right, okay. So this intense look at hyperrealities leads him to something called temporal prostitution.
Yes, he calls it one of humanity's greatest tragedies.
Which is?
Selling 5 life rations, your weekdays for 2 of the weekend, or trading youthful time today so you can buy elderly time later in retirement.
Wow. That's blunt. A brutal truth bomb about our time.
It really is.
Yeah.
And what's fascinating here is he says this results in a dismally negative rate of return on your time.
How so?
He contrasts Bob, who lived poor and died rich, destroying his life, his time, pursuing money, with MJ DeMarco himself, who retired in his 30s and enjoyed 42 years of free time.
42 years?
Yeah. This is the sidewalk trap, he calls it, where consumption, especially finance consumption, just steals time and siphons all your time, making it incredibly hard to quit jobs you hate. It explains why so many feel stuck.
Okay, so we've painted a pretty clear, maybe grim picture of the script. What's the alternative DeMarco proposes?
Well, he introduces unscription. He calls it an escape, a life-changing subset of thought and action underwritten by entrepreneurship.
Okay, so what does that look like?
It illustrates what's possible when your life is free from scripted expectations. It allows for real autonomy, the creative license to pursue work that matters.
So freedom from debt, freedom from those hyper-realistic influences.
Exactly. He even tells a story about an $11,000 check that got lost in his car for weeks. And he didn't even miss it because he wasn't bewitched by the consumer hyper-reality.
Okay.
It's freedom from relying on jobs, stocks, housing markets for your wealth. Freedom from that death sentence of ordinary and routine. It's fundamentally about being in control.
But, I mean, if this sounds so great, what stops people? Why isn't everyone living unscripted?
Good question. He points to mediocre comfort. Having a nice car, a steady paycheck, fun weekends.
Yeah.
It keeps you at the poker table with the same strategy.
It's comfortable, right? Hard to leave.
Exactly. He argues people often need to really feel the burn of the system to genuinely want change. It's hard to leave a comfortable cage, even if it's still a cage.
What else stops people?
Another big one is guarded pride and ego.
Ah.
The author shares his own story. After getting 2 business degrees, he was willing to do dirty work, washing dishes, driving cabs, mopping floors, because his dreams were stronger than his pride and ego. His commitment was bigger than his vanity.
So it often takes something drastic, like hitting rock bottom.
Pretty much. He calls it a "f this event."
Yeah.
A moment where you hit that low point and suddenly commitment swallowed interest and fear just washes away. That defining moment where you just can't live the scripty anymore.
Wow.
And you see this transformation in examples he gives, like Kevin Nguyen, who achieved unscripted abundance despite his family pushing for a STEM career. He even bought his dad a new Lexus.
Nice.
Or the ultra-cycling entrepreneur whose company funds his passion instead of his passion having to be the moneymaker. It's about a real shift in identity, not just wanting something superficially, a deep internal commitment.
Okay, so if you're feeling that this moment or just ready for a shift, how do you actually craft this unscripted vision? DeMarco lays out an entrepreneurial framework.
Right. It involves 2 core processes, the microprocess and the macroprocess.
Okay, what's the microprocess?
That's your internal operating system, your beliefs, biases, and bullshit. He calls them your 3 Bs.
Beliefs, biases, and
Right.
trust.
Yeah. These 3 Bs basically prop up the scripted OS, telling you what to think, say, and do. The fundamental idea is flawed premises yield flawed results. You have to fix the internal stuff first.
Got it. And the macro process.
That's the external stuff, the actions you take. But DeMarco emphasizes that specific how-to tactics, the macro stuff, changes super fast.
right, like tech or marketing trends.
Exactly. That's why many how-to books get outdated quickly. It's the internal operating system, the microprocess that's timeless and really matters.
Okay, so let's dig into the microprocess. He talks about 8 belief scams that keep people trapped. These sound important.
They really are. Each one is like a deeply ingrained lie we tell ourselds, or the Super PT tells us.
All right, what's the first one?
The shortcut scam. He calls this event idealism, focusing on the fabulous outcomes and wanting short-term gratification, quick results.
Like wanting success overnight.
Pretty much. Denying the reality of the process principle, the daily habits, the sacrifices. Think diet pills, financing a BMW to look rich, or those Hollywood movie endings where everything's solved instantly.
A deus ex machina.
Exactly. This leads to what he calls action faking. Doing busy work that feels productive but doesn't actually move the needle. It's like wanting the roses but refusing to cross the raging river of obstacles to get them.
Okay, that makes sense. What's number 2?
The special scam. This is the belief that just having innate talents is enough.
Ah, the natural.
Yeah. He argues this creates trophy kids, awarded for just showing up, who then can't handle criticism. He uses the example of chess prodigy Josh Waitzkin learning about mortality after losing his first big championship. He realized hard work wasn't optional, even though everyone called him special.
So the antidote is?
The Kaizen principle, continual personal improvement, always learning, always growing. He also notes how the internet has, for many, largely rendered college unnecessary for acquiring skills, allowing people to learn online and potentially earn way more. The core insight, effort trumps talent, always.
Okay. Scam number 3.
The consumer scam, his phrase is powerful. Consumption annihilates production.
Oh.
Look at examples like Kanye West's reported debt or 50 Cent's bankruptcy, despite massive incomes.
Mm,
Why? Unchecked consumption. Debt, DeMarco explains, is a production deficit. You're promising future work you haven't done yet.
right, like financing a car for 6 years.
Exactly. 85% of cars are financed, average loan over 65 months. This scam is WHY. The freeway is jammed with cars at 7 a.m. on a Monday morning. People are trapped financing their consumption. The solution: producerism. Be a producer first, not a consumer last.
Got it. Fourth scam.
The money scam. This is seeing money as prey you need to hunt down.
But isn't that what business is about? Making money?
Well, yes, but he argues money, as we discussed, is a hyper-reality, mostly intangible numbers. He introduces the value voucher principle. Stop hunting money and start hunting value.
Create value and the money follows.
That's the idea. He says maybe only 1% of new entrepreneurs really focus on value creation. The rest are fixated on getting rich or fast cars. The focus is wrong.
Okay. Number 5.
The poverty scam.
Yeah.
This is the zero-sum belief that you are broke because someone else is rich.
Ah, the fixed pie idea.
Exactly. It fuels the villain narrative. Rich people are evil, often seen in movies and politics. But DeMarco flips this. He says every single thing in your life was once invented and created by someone.
Like Edison and electricity, or
Huh.
the little plastic thing that saves pizza from the box lid.
Huh? The pizza saver tripod, yeah. He argues those creators deserve to be rich. This leads to his fiduciary principle, serving selflessly to serve the selfish needs of the market. He uses the heaven and hell story. In heaven, people feed each other with long spoons because they contribute. In hell, they starve trying only to feed themselves. Wealth creation is about serving others.
Interesting perspective. Okay, number 6.
The luck scam. Believing luck is just random chance.
Like winning the lottery.
Well, yeah, that's random. But DeMarco reframes most luck as mathematical probabilities of an applied stimulus. In simpler terms, effort increases your odds.
How does he explain that?
He uses a gumball machine analogy. Your life path, the actions you take, determines the universe of possible outcomes you're drawing from. Moving probability is about trying. He shares his own luck. It came from constantly choosing to study, trying businesses even after failures, 7+ of them, working odd jobs, reading books. Luck, in his view, is manufactured by action.
Okay, number 7.
The frugality scam, the whole live poor, die rich idea.
Like extreme saving.
Yeah. DeMarco argues this defensive strategy doesn't work if your income is low. You can't squeeze a dime from a nickel, he says. The counter principle is controllable, unlimited leverage, CUL.
CUL. Sounds complex.
It's about getting rich quick, but importantly, not easy. It means building scalable business systems like software that can grow 1,000% without you working 1,000% more hours, versus a local shoe store that's limited by location and your time. Building something that isn't directly trading your time for money.
Got it. Scalability. And the last one, number 8.
The compound interest scam. Another bold claim. Wall Street ain't making you rich.
Whoa, okay. What's the argument?
He says mainstream advice has you gambling retirement on uncontrollable and unpredictable markets, jobs, stocks, housing. He points out those utopian charts showing compound growth often ignore inflation, and the actual risk-free rate, which was tiny, like 0.03% back when he wrote it.
So chasing high yields.
Yeah, yield chasing, which can lead to catastrophic consequences like the 2008 crash. His capital principle suggests using markets differently for income and equity preservation after you've built wealth, not as the primary wealth creation tool. He gives his own example of generating over $10,000 a month, tax-free, from a $4 million investment. Capital working for you, but you need the capital first.
Okay, those are the 8 belief scams. He also talks about biases, right? How our own minds work against us.
Absolutely. Beyond the scams, our brains create these delusions to protect our existing beliefs. It's like our mind is our own worst enemy in this fight.
What's the first bias?
Confirmation bias. We look for info that confirms what we already believe.
Like only reading news sources you agree with.
Exactly. We crave validation, not necessarily truth.
Okay. Then change adversity.
This is denying truth or reality because changing is painful. Like someone adopting a fat acceptance stance, he argues, to avoid the difficulty of dietary change. It leads to behavior normalization, expecting big changes without making the necessary, often hard, behavioral shifts.
Got it. What about antithetical apathy?
That's when your goals clash with your beliefs. Wanting wealth, but thinking rich people are evil, for example.
Creates internal conflict.
Right. Or his example of the fit mom, Maria Kang, where people made excuses like, my children are too important, instead of confronting their own choices about fitness, using it to protect their comfort zone. Like, enjoying Haagen-Dazs.
Ah, okay. The narrative fallacy and podium popping sounds like a mouthful.
Huh, yeah. It's basically cherry-picking random advice from famous people gurus, celebrities, like copying Warren Buffett's diet or clinging to Steve Jobs' love what you do.
So following sound bites.
Pretty much. It leads to action faking, putting off real work until you feel you have all the answers, which never happens. DeMarco pushes for kinetic execution. Just start. Act on one problem at a time. Learn incrementally, like you did learning HTML bit by bit.
Just start doing something.
Exactly. Then there's survivor bias.
Only hearing the success stories.
Precisely. He uses that great WWII plane example. Abraham Wald realized they should reinforce the parts of returning planes that had no bullet holes, because planes hit there didn't make it back. We only see the survivors, not the failures.
Right. Important context is missing.
Then momentum paralysis. Sticking with bad decisions because you don't want to feel like you wasted time or effort.
Like finishing a terrible book just because you started it.
Exactly that. The sunk cost fallacy applied to life choices.
Okay. And the last bias. Cerebral dogma.
These are the sacred cows. Short, catchy phrases we treat as solid truths, like money doesn't buy happiness, or it's not what you know but who you know.
Things people repeat all the time.
Yeah, but DeMarco calls them bull script speak. He uses the full Mexican fisherman story. The common version ends with the fisherman happy with his simple life. But the unshared ending, he claims, involves government fees forcing the fisherman to work harder, undermining the simple life. His point. Money, in that context, did buy happiness by providing autonomy from those pressures.
Wow, so the takeaway on biases.
It's crucial. Until these biases are confronted, DeMarco argues, nothing really changes. You have to be willing to shelf your biases, even do things you dislike if they work, like him using website pop-ups even though he hated them.
And this applies to business strategy, too.
Definitely. He mentions relying solely on SEO as a control violation because Google can change algorithms and wipe out your traffic overnight if that's all you depend on. You need control.
Okay, so that's the micro process. Beliefs and biases. Now, the macro process. He has these sense commandments.
Yes. 5 long-game constructs for engineering a productocracy. His term for a business that creates value and scales successfully. SENSE is an acronym.
Okay, C, what's the first one?
C is for control. The key question. Is there one person or entity that can instantly kill your business with one decision?
If yes.
Then you're prey, he says. Think network marketing, where the parent company controlled everything. He calls it a guppy business. Or getting your Amazon or Google account shut down, like the seller who lost 60% of his business instantly.
Right, you need to own the platform or the customer relationship.
Essentially, look at Facebook, Airbnb, Uber. They don't own the houses or cars, but they control the platform, the ecosystem. That's where the power is.
Okay. E is for entry.
Right. Difficulty of entry into a market is actually a good sign. It represents opportunity.
Counterintuitive. Easier is better, right?
Not according to DeMarco. He asks, if you do something that takes minutes to accomplish or solve, was there really a problem? His point. Crowds, simplicity, and easy access doesn't translate into opportunity. Too much competition.
So how do you deal with easy entry if you find a good idea?
Executional excellence. Simply doing it better than anyone else, doing what others will not. Outworking, out-innovating, out-serving the competition.
Okay. N is for need.
This is the core. Creating relative value, value relative to what already exists. It's not enough to just exist. You have to be better or different in a meaningful way.
So what does this mean practically? How do you create that relative value?
It's about skewing value across different attributes in what he calls a value array. His analogy is streaking naked through the casino.
Okay.
The point is, perceived value versus actual value can be wildly different, and the important attributes change depending on the customer's needs and perspective in that moment.
Gotcha. Like the Uber example.
Perfect example.
Huh.
Uber didn't just offer one improvement over taxis. They skewed every value attribute.
Yeah.
Convenience, cost, safety perception, choice, ease of payment. They changed the whole game. That's how you truly engineer need.
So how do you find opportunities to engineer a need like that?
Look for complaints and pains, like sticky bacon grease or confusing software. Look for inconvenience, slow processes, annoying appointments, like the blood test problem Theranos tried to solve, regardless of their outcome.
Okay.
Find market inefficiencies, like businesses with terrible marketing. Exploit geographical arbitrage. Think about crowd-feeding entry violations, like selling shovels during a gold rush.
Selling to the people rushing in?
Right, or refurbishing old things, repurposing scrap materials. And critically, look for overcapitalism, where big companies squeeze value too much, like maybe with GMOs in food, or stakeholder demotions, where companies start prioritizing investors over customers. These create openings.
Lots of places to look. Okay, T is for time.
Yes, the commandment of time. This is the pathway to passive income. But, and this is crucial, it's not passive to create.
Ah, takes work up front.
A lot of work. Months, sometimes years of nose-to-the-grindstone effort.
To build what?
Legacy systems that work for you later. Digital product systems, websites, apps, physical product systems, merchandise, human resource systems like restaurants, consultancies with staff, rental systems, real estate, and money systems, interest, dividends.
So systems that operate without your constant input.
Exactly. He talks about return on time invested,
Yeah.
ROTI, like earning 677 per hour equivalent because you spend 17 minutes setting up an Amazon FBA product that then sells automatically. His own journey involved turning a semi-passive internet business into a fully passive money system. That's the goal.
Okay. And finally, S is for scale.
Right. But his advice here is start small. Profitably impacting one customer first, not millions. Scale is a process, not an event.
So what does this mean for choosing a business? Should you aim big from the start?
Sort of. Focus on expected value, EV. Choose opportunities with the highest potential jackpot, even if the initial chance of success seems lower. Like a software company has higher scale potential than a local laser tag place, generally. Think about the upper limit.
And how does scale actually happen?
Through a unit strategy, like franchising, Starbucks, Subway, or replicating a successful model, like a crate rental business idea from his forum that took off. Or a channel strategy, getting your product distributed through major retailers, like the paintbrush cover guy on Shark Tank.
Right, getting leverage.
Exactly. Even making, say, $2,740 a day from a well-scaled business puts you on a millionaire pace quickly. Scale multiplies your effort.
Okay, so you have the sense framework. You develop a product or service. What then?
Then comes kinetic execution. You need hard proof from the market mind, from actual customers. It's an act, assess, adjust cycle, not act and then give up if it doesn't work immediately.
So test and iterate.
Constantly. Awareness, evaluation, onboarding are key steps. Market feedback comes as echoes, questions, suggestions, how people use your website, or as conversions, actual sales.
Listen to the market.
Intently.
Mm-hmm.
Pummel piñatas to find cleans, he says. He himself made over $1 million just by listening to his forum users, removing ads they hated, and adding privacy features they wanted. It's a continuous dialogue.
Okay, so let's say you've built something. You have a scaling productocracy using Sense. How do you sustain this unscripted life? DeMarco introduces 4 disciplines.
Right. These complete the picture, alongside having the right beliefs, meaning, and a sense strategy. They form what he calls the unscripted penta-union, with those 5 elements.
Okay, discipline 1.
Comparative immunity. This is huge. Being at peace with your present pace. Abstaining from the unwinnable game of comparison with others. You know, seeing someone with a faster car, bigger house, whatever.
Keeping up with the Joneses.
Exactly. It's about gratitude for what you have, instead of that constant longing and inadequacy fueled by consumer culture and lifestyle magazines. Finding contentment in your own journey, not someone else's curated highlight reel.
That sounds healthy. Okay, number 2.
Purpose saving. He calls this the one that gates the promised land.
The promised land being?
The end of forced servitude, past due electric bills, car payments, and price checking a box of Cheerios. Real financial freedom.
So how do you achieve purpose saving?
It requires financial reconstruction. First, attack debt. Label it an enemy of the state. Get rid of it.
Okay.
Then pay yourself first. Allocate a percentage of all earnings to your savings or investments automatically.
Cricket bills.
Ideally, yes. Then reduce debt further, prioritizing business expenses, then living costs, then aggressively paying down debt. Critically, no new debt, unless maybe using credit cards strategically for rewards and paying them off instantly.
Discipline.
Lots of it. And finally, reward yourself for milestones. It's not about pure deprivation. He mentions buying his Lamborghini as a reward. It connects the effort to the payoff.
Right. So this saving, fueled by the business income or maybe selling the business, that connects back to compound interest.
Exactly. This is where he says compound interest changes. Fueled by significant business income or a liquidation event, it transforms from an impotent wealth creator, when starting with small amounts, into a potent passive income machine when applied to large sums of money.
Like the $10 million example.
Right. 5% interest on $10 million is $500K a year, or nearly $42,000 a month, potentially for life. That's potent. That's where compound interest shines after the wealth is built.
Hmm. But you mentioned earlier that many affluent people are broke.
Yeah, he cites that 72% of Americans earning over 100K a year are a few months from broke. Why? Lack of the next discipline, measured elevation.
Measured elevation.
Discipline number 3, it's the ability to raise your lifestyle disproportionately as your income rises.
Meaning, don't spend every new dollar you make.
Exactly. Avoid that trap of lifestyle inflation eating up all your gains. Make a conscious choice to let the gap between income and spending widen significantly.
Okay. And the fourth discipline?
Consequential thought. He calls this the lock that ensures lifelong unscription.
Thinking about consequences.
Deeply. Thinking before acting.
Yeah.
Extrapolating potential outcomes. Assessing risk properly.
How do you do that effectively?
He suggests worst-case consequence analysis, WCCA.
Yeah.
Really thinking through the absolute worst thing that could happen from a decision.
Like that CFO example.
Oh, that's a brutal one. The Arizona CFO losing his $200K job and $2 million in stock options because of a 2-minute, 20-second viral video of him berating a Chick-fil-A employee. That illustrates consequence inequity, as DeMarco calls it. An event spanning only minutes causes a lifetime of process to unravel. A stark reminder of how quickly things can go wrong with poor consequential thought.
And this applies to relationships, too.
Definitely. Identifying and removing potential people who are liabilities to your goals. He tells stories about cutting ties with friends who show dangerous or unethical behavior, like one who burned a rat or another who drove recklessly. Our choices about who we associate with have huge consequences.
Yeah, protect your environment.
Absolutely. Yeah. His core message here is profound. Choice is the most powerful asset we own. And then powerfully, you are exactly as you have chosen, puts the responsibility squarely on you.
Okay. He also briefly outlines his own money system at the end, right? The 3-pot.
Yeah, his unscripted money system. It's his personal allocation.
First pot.
The you pot. Idle cash, set aside purely for options, choices, maybe riskier investments. It represents ultimate freedom and flexibility.
Okay, second pot.
The home pot. His house, owned free and clear. No mortgage. Basic security locked down.
And the third.
The paycheck pot. This generates regular income. It's diversified across things like solid dividend-paying stocks. He mentions examples like SO, CVX, MAM, WEETs like AVB, DLR, EQY, and MLPs, designed for reliable monthly or quarterly income streams.
And he has rules for managing that paycheck pot.
Yeah, some interesting ones. The rent rule, demand a good return. Rent for giving up control of your capital. The SNAP rule, emphasizing liquidity, being able to sell quickly, maybe taking profits if gains equal years of dividends. The apocalypse rule. No single point of failure, diversification. He also warns against dividend traps, chasing high yields that might be unsustainable and avoiding high management fees, generally over 1%. Keep more of your own money working for you.
Got it. Lots of practical advice there. So wrapping up this whole deep dive, it offers flexible guideposts, right? Not a strict dogma.
Exactly. It's aimed at improving your probability of success, lighting the way across the chasm to an unscripted life. It's a framework, not a rigid map you must follow precisely.
And going unscripted, it starts small.
As a simple seed planted in your mind, he says, the resolve that you aren't a slave to a car, a television, or a government.
And it needs fuel.
Cultivated with meaning and purpose that borders obsession, something that inspires you to do what others won't. That passion, he argues, comes after you find purpose. It's a result, not the starting point.
And the ultimate goal, happiness-wise.
He suggests the great happiness secret is autonomy. Feeling in control of your life. This lines up well with psychological self-determination theory, which also highlights competence and relatedness as key needs. It's about developing an internal locus of control, believing your fate is largely in your own hands. So DeMarco really challenges you, the listener, to ask, what needs to be done, learned, outsourced, researched, and then to constantly act, assess, adjust on that journey. It's an ongoing process.
Wow. Okay. So we've journeyed through the scripted life, explored the vision of the unscripted alternative, and really broken down the framework for crafting your own path, confronting those belief scams, executing with the sense commandments, and sustaining it with the 4 disciplines. Hopefully this deep dive, personally curated for you, sparks some thoughts.
Absolutely. So what stands out to you from all this? Maybe take a moment to reflect.
Yeah.
What sacred cows, those short, succinct statements regarded as solid obstructions, are you holding on to? What might be preventing you from pursuing a life of, well, true autonomy and purpose, as DeMarco defines it?